Hi, I'm Jess Arce. I am the CEO and director of 3D Learning Experts, and I am the owner of the Dyslexia, Dysgraphia, Dyscalculia Parent Support Group on Facebook. And a question was recently asked about what the difference is between dyslexia, dysgraphia, and dyscalculia. So I responded by saying that I would share on my next live what the differences are. And so here I am. I am sitting outside. I hope that the lighting is okay. I find that I spend my whole entire day sitting in front of my computer inside my house. So I wanted to come out and get some fresh air, some vitamin C or D, and and chat with you outside. If you want to add any questions, you can go on to StreamYard and then put your questions in the chat, or you can add your questions to the Facebook or wherever you're seeing this in the chat section. And I'm happy to answer your question when I see it. So, dyslexia, dysgraphia, and dyscalculia are my life. I didn't realize that I was experiencing dyslexia as a child. And then it wasn't until I became a mom and two of my four kids had profound dyslexia that this became my world. And so turns out my third child, well, actually, yeah, it is actually my third child. I have four children. So the third one has profound dysgraphia and mild dyslexia and also dyscalculia. My youngest son has dyslexia, profound dyslexia, severe dyslexia, profound dyscalculia, and moderate to mild dysgraphia. And my second child has severe dyslexia, some dyscalculia, and does not have dysgraphia. So I'm saying all these disses, and I haven't started telling you what any of these disses are. So let me just jump right into it and share with you the differences of dyslexia, dysgraphia, and dyscalculia. So dyslexia, okay, first of all, let me back up. Dys means difficulty or not. Okay, so all of these disses are pertaining to things that we are not naturally good at doing. So dyslexia is difficulty with words. Lexia means words. So that means difficulty with reading words, difficulty with spelling words, and difficulty with communicating words. Now, that does not mean that everyone with dyslexia has all three of those difficulties. However, they are going to have at least one. Now, I have always had difficulty with spelling. Oh my goodness, spelling. My spelling was atrocious until I started tutoring. And I would always tell my students, if you want to become a really good speller, become a tutor. Because as a student, you can become an amazing reader because we are teaching the skills, the reading skills, and reading is easier to do because you're looking at it. And so it's prompting you to remember what it is the word says. But spelling, you have to totally get that from your memory. And it is not necessarily an easy task to do. I utilize all the tools that I learned to teach my students in order to be a better speller. So it also can be a challenge with words. And I definitely have that challenge as well. So I had all three. My reading was not good. My spelling was atrocious. And my communication skills lacked as well. Over time, I have learned to improve. many of our students become amazing readers, are reading on grade level at the end of working with us for a couple of years. Their spelling may not be as good. So let's move on to what dysgraphia is. Dysgraphia is becoming more known than it was when my journey began in 2009, I think. So dysgraphia, graph means writing. So dysgraphia is difficulty with writing. That can be difficulty with handwriting. That can be difficulty with taking the thoughts from your brain and putting it on paper. That can show up in lots of different ways. And they can overlap. So very often people can have dyslexia and dysgraphia. So they struggle with reading and spelling and writing and communicating. However, you don't have to struggle with both. You can just have dysgraphia. And the third one is dyscalculia. And that is also the smallest percentage of people who have dyscalculia. And dyscalculia, calculating, is difficulty with math. And for people with dyscalculia, it is like math is like a foreign language to them. They struggle to be able to understand the concepts. They can't do basic addition very often. They can't multiply. Now, you will find that a lot of people with dyslexia do struggle with multiplication. So when you have dyslexia and you struggle with math, it is the sequential process that is stumping you or your child. So there is a definite overlap with people with dyslexia having math challenges, but it's not the same as someone who has dyscalculia, who just does not understand without the proper intervention how to add. I had a student early on in my tutoring career who was 18 years old and could not add 6 plus 4. So like she had she had lived 18 years on this planet and could not add up 10 cents, could not count 10 pieces of candy, could not do basic math. And that is the difference with someone who struggles with understanding how to multiply versus understanding math at all. And so don't despair, because your child, if they have moderate dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, well, we'll figure out how to compensate. If they have moderate to severe, it's getting harder for them to figure it out on their own. However, moderate, that's what many of us my age might have experienced, and we figure out ways to compensate. And very often we do better as adults with basic skills, with different things, because we have spent our entire lives learning how to work around things and figure out ways to compensate. The person who has profound and severe dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, they are not likely to learn these skills without intervention that is multisensory, hands-on, systematic, structured. So they need to be taught differently in order to succeed. And that's what we do. My tutoring program helps students who have moderate to profound dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia learn how to read, write, spell, and do math, so that they aren't having to struggle to try to figure it out like we did. And actually, I was fortunate enough to have tutoring that helped me However, I know most people my age, they had to just struggle through and figure out ways to learn. And I don't know about you, but I didn't want my children to struggle the way I did. And that's why I learned how to do the tutoring programs that we use at my tutoring center so that we can provide your child with the solutions that they need. So I hope that this video gave you some clarity as to the three differences or the differences of dyslexia, dysgraphia, and dyscalculia. And I am happy to answer any other questions that you have on a video or on a consultation call. If you're interested in learning more about our tutoring services, schedule a consultation call with me. And if you just want to understand how to help your child better, you can join my Facebook group or learn more on our website. And we have lots of resources on the website. We have blogs, we have our YouTube channel. So the best thing to fulfill any desire that you have is to go to 3dlearningexperts.com, and then you can schedule a consultation, or you can learn more about our program, or you can just learn more about dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyscalculia, and other learning disabilities from our podcast. Until next time, have a wonderful day.